Hello, everybody, and welcome to another round of the Jack Ashton Racing and the Novice Racer League in the Ferrari Challenge season. Round number 4 here from the Bend Motorsports Park. We are getting to the halfway point now. After our week off for the Spa 24 Hours last week, it's time for the newest circuit that iRacing has on its service. It's myself, Ewan Leary, and James Parfitt with you for this round of the championship. And again, looking forward to another round of this series. 2 20-minute races coming up after the qualifying session, which has just got underway here. And I'm looking forward to seeing how this track races. I've only ever seen V8 supercars go around here, I must admit. I've never seen anything else race around here. I don't know how much you've seen of this circuit, but it's a new one on iRacing, so I'm looking forward to it.
Well, this is the third one I've done now here at the Bend. And I will tell you now, I did a GT3 one that really struggled with the final corner because obviously it's an uphill. You can just see it in the background there as well. It's a kind of an uphill over the crest. And I will tell you that the GT3 Porsche did not love that whatsoever. It was spinning around quite rapidly, obviously, but we're here in the Ferrari, so it should be all right. The other ones I've seen around here are Super Formulas. That went rather well. There was no real dramas, a little bit of chaos, but hey, it's always going to happen. But I think this track is quite interesting, to be fair. I don't know if I would particularly like it, but I've never driven a car around here, so I suppose without actually driving a car around here, I would never actually know. But it's going to be interesting to see how these guys get on with this Ferrari Challenge around here. It's a little bit more stable than probably the Porsche GT3 anyway, so hopefully they won't struggle at the final corners here. But we're on board now with Tommy Patero, and you'll be able to have a look and see what I mean. This is the run down into turn 17, and then we've got a right-hander into turn 18. Now you just see when it goes into 18, there's a slight little rise at times that he will cause a little bit of problems for. So I'm hoping that he might be able to get this one right. Sorry, we're going through 15 at the moment, and then on the kink through 16 into 17 and 18. But it's an interesting layout. It's going to be interesting to see how these guys get on with the turn up with turn 1.
It's some parts of this circuit do look the same, and
that did
13 to 17. But this is the final corner now. It's good to ride on board with a lap here from Tommy Patero, showing us the way round. As the first times now come in, it's a very long lap, so not too many times expected over the course of the session. There 2 flying laps will take up most of it, you would imagine. Andy Pratt, as he's called now, goes to the top of the standings. Tommy Patero just about half a second away. Ian Knox 7/10 away. But then you get some bigger gaps. I mean, we've got a second between Knox and Britton from 3rd and 4th. That just shows you how much of a gap you can get around this circuit. It's 4.9 kilometres in length, just over 3 miles, but there's 18 turns within it, and a lot of them are quite long turns, so very technical circuit, and that means the gaps are going to be naturally very, very big between the drivers.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's the thing. Obviously, with the Pro and Ams, pros in purple, Ams in green or teal or whatever colour you want to call it. But I think this is the thing here. There's always battles across the racetrack, and there's some Ams that can mix it in with pros, the likes of Eric Orchin, Parker Enquist on his day as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how they get on. But I think this could be a very, very interesting one for us to watch, and just to make sure that they can all just get to the end without any dramas.
Andy Pratt, it's going to take some time to fix, isn't it? Andy Pratt is now coming through the final sector. Purple in the first, and he was briefly purple in the third as well, but that has been taken away from him just at the moment. Not sure who has got that, but that time will filter through in a moment on the bottom of your screen. He'll now come towards the final corner. Not too far behind him will be Patero. Maybe it is him who's got that best time. Pratt goes over the line. Is it any of an improvement? It looks like it is. He goes on to a 46.2. What about Tommy Patero in the background? He goes over the line and he goes ahead of him. So it must have been him. 46.1 from Patero. Could be a good race between Patero and Pratt. Let's just show you the championship standings, actually, because that fits in rather nicely with the qualifying session that we're seeing at the moment. Patero leading Pratt by just 14 points as things stand, which is not too many as far as this point system is concerned. What championship standings are those? Those are not the ones that I can see.
The ones I got from iRacing.
Okay. They're not the ones that Jack's posted in the Discord.
Okay. Ooh.
So I don't know which ones we're going with, but that's what it looks like in iRacing. Where's Andy Pratt in those ones in iRacing? 5th place. Yeah, that's odd.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll have a look at that. But that is the latest ones I've got. So
okay. Well, they can see the ones that are in
take
iRacing.
Take it with a pinch of salt and crack on. So there we go.
Well, yeah, the ones that Jack's got has got Patero in front of Pratt by 14 points, but Metakos 17 points further back, with Matt Warden and Alistair Clark rounding out the top 5. Eric Orchin is the best AM in those, 11 points ahead of Parker Enquist. But there's the disparity between the two. Anyway, we'll leave that for another week. 2.5 minutes to go in qualifying, and I was wondering where Matt Warner was. He is now up towards the front. He's the first driver to get in the 145s. He's still got another lap to go as well in his session. And it looks like it's going to be pole for Matt Warner, who left the pit lane a little bit later than the rest, but has flown to the top of the standings.
He has at the moment, Matt Warner, and he's done a great job in the meantime. At the same time, he's got another purple on the board. Nick Green has also, he's got greens, funny enough, on the board as well, the irony, on that one. So we'll see what time he can bring up as well. But Matt Warner at the moment seems to be on the pace here.
Setting the pace at the moment, that's for sure. Now coming to the final sector. It's double right-hander down at turn 14, 15 before the slight bend in the road at 16, not really one you have to think about. And then those final 2 corners. 17, a really sharp right-hander, and then the final corner, which puts you out onto the relatively long front straight. I wonder whether we're going to see any chances for overtaking down in towards turn 1 because of it. Out through the final corner now for Warner. And what is the time going to be? You went purple in the first and last sectors. That looks like it's quicker again. And it is a 1:45.5. As Nicholas Green, by the way, goes over the line to complete his second lap time in the background. He moves up to 4th place. So a couple of late improvements, but Matt Warner should have pole pretty comfortably here. Yeah,
everybody else has done their lap, so that's basically going to be on the left-hand side how it will be set ready for the race. So we're looking forward to seeing how Warner and Patero and Pratt and Green get on, as they're only literally about 1.3 seconds apart, or 1.2 seconds apart from 1st to 4th, and then everybody else in behind them. Should be a good battle in the AMs. Orchard and Laird, literally barely, half a tenth between them. So, yeah, that should be kicking off and having a good one as well.
Yep, they are, though, over 2 seconds off of pole, and that's what I was talking about earlier on with the length of this lap time. The gap between the front and the back of the field is very, very large indeed. And surely that is going to make race 2 especially very, very interesting. It's a full reverse grid, but we don't yet know how this circuit is going to race.
No, we don't. It's going to be, a new one for us. So I'm looking forward to this and how we get on. And seeing if these Ferraris can get round. Hopefully these guys are all sensible, right? You know, they'll all be all right. They'll get to the end without any drama. I'm sure we won't see any incidents at all.
Yes. It will be
very
fine.
Optimistic.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's good reason to be at the start of this one. Matt Warner, though, is going to take pole ahead of Tommy Patero with Andy Pratt and Nicholas Green on row 2. Ian Knox, Tom Weston are going to be on row 3 ahead of Alistair Clark, the last of the pros up front. Eric Orchin and Stephen Laird first and second in the AMs ahead of Hayden Britton, with Garrett Kinney, Parker Enquist on row 6, and Reece Bartlett, Jerome Wolf round out the top the 14 drivers who are getting ready to race here today for this round at the Bend Motorsports Park. It is going to be a very fun one indeed to see how this circuit races at the start of the day. It's going to be a standing start here, as always. So we'll see how they get on with that in a couple of moments' time when Matt Warner, Thomas Weston have got themselves onto the grid. You can see those couple of gaps in the grid at the moment. But then they'll have that long race down in towards turn number 1, and that is where we will see the action off the start. It's where we see it's a very, very important launch off the line because of what a long run it is down the front straight. There's a couple of the gaps it's going to be filled in now by those drivers gridding up finally. Thomas Weston still, I don't think, has quite made it onto the grid yet. In the background, using the full 2 minutes at the start of this race to get himself onto the grid. And then we'll be underway for the 20 minutes in a moment. But, yeah, he's still not there.
No.
He's really taking his time here to
ain't
get
got
on
long.
the grid.
We've only got about 10 seconds.
Well, he'll do it with about seconds to go, just to annoy everybody. There we go, about 10 seconds to go. I don't know what he was doing, but anyway, he's ready now. And the first race here from the Bend Motorsports Park is about to get underway. Here we go then, the lights come out in the Ferrari Challenge cars, and we do now have that long run down in towards turn number 1, and Matt Warner gets off to a decent launch with Toy Patero right alongside, but it's such a long run you can actually duck back into the slipstream and come back again down in towards turn 1, and that's what Patero does. Outside line through turn 1, gets to the inside at 2, and he'll be hoping to be clear, but he's not, and Warner goes round the outside of 2 instead to get the inside at 3, and he takes the lead out the first section of corners and into the middle sector for the first time. There's a spin in the background for Alistair Clark, the only one to go around on lap 1.
Yeah, he is at the moment the only one who's made an instant. He's off the track, he's all the way down the bottom, but a great start there from Matty Warner. He had Patero closing in, however he has just gone and got that all wrong. Patero's going to sweep round the outside at the moment there, and a great job from him. You can see the gainers and losers on the left hand side: Knox, Pratt, Weston Green, Orchin, Enquist up 4. Great job from him, but Tommy Patero has taken the lead, and that is going to be massive for Matt Warner. He's going to have to play chase and see how he gets on.
This is where the overtaking gets difficult though, through this middle sector. That's the right-hander now at turn 12 before they now come up in towards 13 at the end of a short straight now towards the final sector. This is where overtaking is difficult though, as I say. You just can't find your way through really through there, and you've got to figure it out somewhere else. Really the first sector where you're going to be making moves, but it's about staying close at the moment. Patero is leading, but Warner has got to stay close here and use that slipstream down the front straight and go at turn 1, because there's not really any other chances around the track.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing. He's got to make that run out of turn 18, which is what they're coming up to. Oh, turn 18, sorry, which is what they're on now. But you can see with Warner, he's got it nice and tight at the moment. He's now got to make a decision. Is he going to be able to go for this? Is he not going to be able to go for this? He looks up the inside. He knows he needs that inside line. Patero's going to be later. Warner can't get through the run through 1. Problem is 2's a left-hander, which is what they're going through now. Nick it up the inside, nip it up the ins. Oh, Patero covers him off. Warner thought about it, but this is Alistair Clark's drama at the first opening. Well, so what is that, turn 3 for Alistair Clark? And you see he's on that green inside machine, and unfortunately just goes round all on his own. But it also looks like Garrett Kinney has just had some drama and is dropping down the order through the left-hander again through turn number 3. Is this going to be a flashpoint here? Is this going to be the moment that we're going to start seeing them? Because they both done exactly the same thing.
Yeah, lap after lap. So yeah, that wasn't replays from the same lap. That was lap 1, then lap 2 just afterwards. But same problem still applies, whether it's the very start of the race or through the middle of it. Getting on the power there through turn 3 is probably the most difficult traction zone on this circuit. Coming out of turn 5 is not turn 6 it is, sorry, is not too easy either, but we've seen 2 spins now through turn 3 immediately. Oh, and off in the front there, that's Ian Knox, who's gone off into the fence down at 13. Now, how has he managed that quite? I'm not sure, because that's an unusual place to find yourself off the road on your own, but it looks like maybe just a solo error here from Ian Knox on the break. Oh, he smashes that curb. Wow, that was a big sausage curb there, and he's absolutely smashed it.
Oh my God, there's been more. Reese Bartlett, Ian Knox, Eric Orchin, they've all started going off. Same thing. Bang, sausage curb. Oh my God, they've all started doing this now. There goes another one. That's Bartlett again. Orchin has gone and got the tyres overheated, and he's gone round. Dude, what's all of a sudden happened here?
It's Bartlett again, yeah. So, is this No,
not finished. Wait. Back end's coming round.
There we go. No, it wasn't Bartlett we saw, first of all, going off in front of Orchin. It was somebody else as well. Stephen Laird's now off the road in live pictures. Parker Enquist moves up to the lead of the AM class. Laird is off. I think he spun out of turn 3. It looks like he might be the latest one to have gone around at that section of corners. Oh no, there's an
no.
incident here. It's a little bit more complicated. So, down the inside, just to in front of him, Laird tries to follow through. Oh, and he goes straight into the side of somebody there. Not sure who that was, actually, but Laird drops to 11th after that bit of contact down at turn 1. And as I say, gives Parker Enquiries the lead in the AM class by quite some distance.
Yeah, absolutely. Big issues there. I've just heard a massive bug fly in my office. It's buzzing around my head at the moment, so just bear with while I try and squat that at the same time. But yeah, great action taking place up front. Warner and Patero seem to have got this nailed at the moment.
They certainly seem to be the strongest two in the field, that's for sure. But how are they going to resolve this amongst themselves? They are just 5 minutes into the 20 minutes of this opening race. Of course, race 2 will be the same, although it's a full reverse grid. At the moment, Garrett Kinney would be on the pole for. He's in pit lane as it stands. I'm not sure quite why, actually, but he is on pit lane for the moment. Ian Knox gets past Parker Enquiries. That's just a pass for position 7th place overall, but this is for the lead out front. This is why Garrett Kinney come in. He's already missing his rear wing, and that's why he's going to go around for another spin.
Yeah, this is the thing, how he did that as well. I think there may have been a little bit of contact. Oh, that was the spin. There we go. Where's the hit? Is the hit going to come? Oh, bit weird.
He get clipped, yeah. He got clipped, and that's how he lost his rear wing. Parker Enquiries, meanwhile, is into pit lane. So the leader in the AM class has also dropped into the pits, and that is a bit unusual. Pratt, meanwhile, gets down the inside of Weston. Has he gone too deep? Yes. Into turn 6, and that's an easy cutback pass again. Weston back into the top 3.
Yeah, he is at the moment as well for Thomas Weston, and Andy Pratt's going to have to keep chase after that at the same time. Enquist is pit lane, just lost a place to Jerome Wolf. He's just gone in and come back out again. But at the moment, Weston with Pratt and Patero with Warner, a couple of actions taking place that's going to be interesting to keep an eye on as they get on here.
It's turn 13. Another look from Pratt. He is quicker, clearly, but it's just about working his way past, and that's going to be the difficult thing here. Now turn 14. The left-handed, bit wide from Weston. Maybe that's the chance. Pratt gets super close now into 15, just having a look down the inside. And surely there's going to be some chance in a moment here to go down the inside somewhere. But Tom Weston continues to make mistakes like that. He might not need to, just be given to him. And that's a little bit wide. He'll get away with that. Now onto the front straight. They will come again. Maybe there'll be another chance at the end of the straight, further up the road. Oh, and they're weaving around actually for the front of the race. Warner is right in the slipstream of Tommy Patero here, and he's just not close enough. He is every time entering the final of the first straight, the front straight, about 3 tenths behind. He's just not close enough to make the move. As in the background, Pratt goes down the inside. Is it going to be another cutback line maybe from Weston? It doesn't look like it. Pratt looks like he's through as Warner continues to apply the pressure on Tommy Patero. Now into turn 6. Big braking zone here, and he knows it, does Patero. He goes to the inside. He's got to be careful not to go too late on the brakes, though. Otherwise, he'll just get switched back on by Warner, who goes down the inside. There you go. He sold him the dummy, and he goes straight through.
Yeah, Warner there. Great job with Patero. Tucks him right behind him. Pratt's taking third. Weston now and Green are in their own little mix of a battle further back. Green's going to be waiting as much as he can to see if Weston makes a mistake here. Of course, Weston's already made a couple, so we're going to have to keep an eye out and see how they get on. But it's going to be very, very interesting indeed here. I think these three... Oh, there's the mistake. There's the mistake from Weston. That's going to allow Green to run up the inside of him going into the next braking zone as well. Green's got the door wide open. He should know. He can't go through, which is a bit of a surprise, to be honest.
It's not a big braking zone, unfortunately, for him down at turn 13 there, and he just couldn't manage it down the inside by the looks of things, so he has to stay behind and try again later. Hayden Britton, meanwhile, just in front of Ian Knox, about 6 seconds down the road as well, as we get towards the end of the first half of this race. Should get 11 laps, though, out of both races here today, you would have thought. And, yeah, should be 11. Laps, maybe 12. But
is that you trying to do maths on a Sunday afternoon?
Well, it's not that difficult, is it? It's just double whatever we've got now. You know, didn't do that with my fingers. I could if I was from Norfolk. Anyway, into the final or first section again. In the background, is Ian Knox close enough? No, I think this time round it has proven so far to be relatively difficult in terms of overtaking, but certainly possible, especially down at turn 6. If you fool the driver in front of you into braking too late, you can very easily just cut back and come back down the inside.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the only one thing that these people have said about who have raced around here. It's been quite hard to overtake, and people need to, you can just put your car in the right position and you're defended, and that's the thing. So I think for now, for the likes of Patero, Green and Knox is just going to have to keep going at the moment to see how they get on.
Just going to have to keep applying that pressure. Same for Nick Green as well, on the back of Tom Weston in that 4th place. Ian Knox probably closer actually to Hayden Britton than Green is to Weston at the moment. Now double left-hander again. It's a pretty frustrating place to be for Green. You can see the car in front, but you're nowhere near close enough to be making any overtakes at this stage. And now the gap does actually creep over a second for the first time in a while, and Green is going to have to do a lot of work just in terms of catching up and then actually making the pass. It's going to be very, very difficult. It's going to be a 12-lap race, by the way, so only just reaching halfway now at the end of lap 6.
Yeah, it is, but you can see the only one closest battle on the screen at the moment is Ian Knox, who's got Hayden Britton in front of him, and it's down to Knox to see what he's going to be able to do here and whether or not he can get through. But is he going to look at the inside of one? Well, the door's left wide open by Hayden Britton, so yeah, he's through.
Nicely through. And that might be the limit now in 6th position. Ian Knox gets past Hayden Britton. Perhaps for the only overtake he's going to make today, or at least to the finish today. Eric Orchin and Stephen Laird are the next closest on the racetrack, and that is a battle for the lead in the AM class. Don't forget, Laird had his issue earlier on in the race, and so he's recovering positions now. You'd imagine he'll be quicker than Orchin, but it's not going to be an easy path for him to make up into 9th position. He's got just over 8 minutes to do it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to have to see if he can get that lead away from Eric Orchin. Stephen Laird, he's closed right in at the moment. He's tucked in right behind him. So we're going to find out if he is going to be able to do this or not. Onto the right-hand side we go. You can see in front Eric Orchin is Laird. Oh, I thought he might have been a little bit close enough there to have a go, but he didn't just quite make it. He's going to... Oh, he's going to try. He's going to try. He's going to try. Hard on the brakes he goes. And he goes through there. That's into turn 17, I believe.
I think we're earlier in the lap now, actually, than that. Is that 13 again? Yeah,
oh, blimey.
That's 13.
They all look the same.
Yeah, those two corners do look a little bit the same. I don't know if, obviously you've done a couple of actual broadcasts on this, but I can't remember when it was added to the, actually, you can see here, 2018 it was built, and I can't remember when it was added to the V8 Supercar calendar, but I have watched the races when they came here in real life, so I do have a bit of experience of actually seeing, and they use this layout in V8 Supercars as well, so I do have a bit of experience at least watching this layout, and so I've got a bit of an advantage there.
Yeah, it does have quite a lot of layouts.
There is quite a lot of layouts. I'm not going to count them all, but it is quite a lot. I'm interested to see the GT circuit. Have you seen the GT circuit? 35 corners? Madness.
Oh my God. How long the lap going to be, you reckon?
One of these probably be... I could probably work this out with some maths.
It's near enough double the length of what we've got now.
No, it's not. This is only 4.9 kilometres. That's 7.7.
So nearly double.
It's double would be about 8.8.
Well, I know, that's why I said nearly.
Okay. Maybe about 3 minutes I would go for. I'd probably go for 3 minutes. But, there comes a point where a circuit's just too long, to be honest. The problem I have with this circuit is that, as you say, it doesn't... Some of it looks the same. Doesn't really seem to have much in the way of character, really. I guess that comes with history, I suppose, and you can't make history in 7 years. But it just feels a little bit the same and a bit weird in places. To us. Almost feels a bit sanitized, if you like, this circuit. It's very. I don't know what the right way to describe it is, but it just doesn't feel quite right in some way.
In a way, I know it's not, but it's quite boring. Do you know what I mean? It's just, as you said, like now we're in this situation where you can see on the left-hand side they're all spread out, so there's no real area where there's going to be able to make it up. Like we know Nords, right? We've been to Nords thousands of times, and there's something with Nords that will cause an issue. There's something that will keep drivers close together. There's something that can happen. But here, unless they make it an exceptional mistake, there's nothing that can really kill anybody. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of runoffs, there's a lot of open track, and we're at that stage now where they're sort of just tootling around, really, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm sure this circuit is fun to drive. I think a track day or so, whatever, around here will be a lot of fun. I think taking around your road car or whatever, if they even do them. But and indeed, driving in iRacing, driving this circuit on your own in one of these cars maybe would be a bit of fun. But I think the racing around here can be a little bit
stagnant.
Maybe. And the fact that there's really that one big overtaking opportunity at the end of the straight there, and not really any others. We do have one at turn 6, but it does mean that you're waiting a long time to get an overtaking position. Admittedly, even circuits like Spa are the same. The distances between overtaking opportunities at Spa are very long, but it's the entertainment in between times that you get at that kind of circuit that you don't really get here. And it looks, on the track map like a really long front straight. Actually, in reality, in a fastish car like this one, front straight isn't actually that long when you're actually going down it like that. And when you need slipstream to get past by the end of the straight.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think you are right. But what cars would work here? Because it is, as you say, quite a long lap.
I think prototypes, multi-class stuff would work here quite nicely, I think.
You reckon?
Yeah, because a lot of these corners I would describe as high downforce corners. I mean, look at this here. Look at this. I was about to say triple right-hander. It might even be quadruple. It's a very long right-hander. But look at it. Imagine this in an LMP2. You're barely braking. As Nicholas Green goes off the circuit slightly. Oh, and Weston does as well. They follow each other off the circuit. But imagine that long right-hander in an LMP2, and then this section here as well. It looks a little bit lethargic in the Ferrari Challenge cars because they don't have the downforce. But a car that does, I think, would be quite good.
That's why the open wheelers got on so well around here, I reckon.
Yeah, I reckon those super formulas would be well suited to this.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're right, huh? Following the only closest battle, Weston is just making mistake after mistake after mistake here. And Green is going to run side by side at the moment. Is he going to be able to get him on the exit? It looks like he is. He should be able to sweep around the outside now. Green, is he going to be brave? Weston breaks early. Green goes through. And it's all stems because Weston's been making mistakes after mistake after mistake. If he, settle down some, we're nearly at the end of the race. And unfortunately, still makes a mistake.
Yeah, well, it's not easy. 20 minutes around here is going to feel like quite a long time. When you consider the amount of corners they're going through over the course of 12 laps, doing 18 corners, that's about 220 or so over the course of the race. It's just a very, very busy lap as they come in towards turn 1. Weston's going to really apply that pressure here to try and get that 4th place back again, but looks like he's going to struggle to do that, unfortunately, as they get onto the penultimate lap here on lap 11.
Yeah, not long to go now. Weston's going to either make a decision, either stay with Green. I don't know if he's going to be able to. He's looking up the inside. Green's going to be able to cover him off into the left-hander. Now is Weston again. Sliding on the exit. He's got to be a little bit more careful with that one. Warner out in front by 3.7 seconds. Laird now leading the AMS, 8 seconds ahead of Orchin, which is just absolutely bonkers how Stephen Laird's managed to do that, but a great job from him. But I think Green might open this one up.
See, when he was behind, it's
Weston got a run on him.
Was it a mistake from Green that just sent him sent him through there. But anyway, Weston is up into 4th place. The pressure immediately getting to him there, and Weston goes straight through into 4th position. So that was a pretty quick change of place there. And yeah, through he goes into 4th position now, Tom Weston. How long can he stay there for?
Yeah, we're going to have to find out here at the moment. Not long to go now. Where is Matt Warner? Warner's over the line. It is going to be the final lap of the race here. Warner, Patero, Pratt are going to be your 1, 2, 3, I think, but it's going to be Weston and Green where the accident's going to happen. But we'll keep an eye on Matt Warner as well. Keep an eye on that time. If it keeps going the way it's going, Tom Weston will wrap up 4th place.
It looks like it, especially with the 9 temps that's now opening up between those two. But this has been a race of control really for Matt Warner. He's got 3.5 seconds or so over Tommy Patero and Pratt, who's in 3rd place as well. Weston and Green still nose to tail, but this has been a controlled race from Matt Warner, and he's got some ground to make up in the standings on Tommy Patero, whichever championship standings you look at. So this is a good stride forward from him, although he will only gain a few points with Patero in 2nd.
Yeah, he will, but at the end of the day, any points is good points. And that's the thing for Warner at the moment. He needs these points, and that's what he's going to be able to get here. How's he going to cope coming through? Because we know Patero's quite aggressive on the way through here. Ian Knox now has cleared Weston, and that's due to the fact that Weston has been off the circuit. And unfortunately, he's dropped down the order for Tom Weston. But Ian Knox has got through. Matt Warner, 1 more corner to go.
So out of the final turn, and Matt Warner wins here at the Bend Motorsport Park. It is a dominant victory in the end. After pressure from Tommy Patero early in the race, he has now won this race by 5 seconds, his gap at the line, and taken a bit of a stride forward towards Tommy Patero in the standings. Pratt finishes on the podium in 3rd. What are we seeing here for Thomas Weston?
Yeah, I think this is Weston's drama. I just want to try and get it in before it flicks over, because obviously it does it all on his own. But I've got a funny feeling there might... Oh, there he goes. Off, and it's still off. And that's how Green went through, and that's how Ian Knox also went through as well. Absolutely. Oh, no, there was... Oh, maybe not completely. There's clearly some afters here.
Yeah. It's going to cut in a minute, isn't it? Quite abruptly.
There you go. That's how we got through.
Okay, down the inside and through. So, yeah, nice in the end. Stephen Laird, further up, by the way, took the victory in the AM class. Maybe we had more time than we thought because, it seems to be okay for the moment. The replay, there you go. Parker Enquist is still a couple of corners actually away from completing this race. So that's what we'll just wait for in the next couple of moments. But here he is through the final corner and over the start-finish line, 13th place for him. He will be on the front row alongside Garrett Kinney in this second race of the day, which will be a full reverse grid race coming up very soon. But in race number 1 here at the Bend, it's Matt Warner who takes the victory by 5 seconds. Tommy Patero just in behind. Then it's Andy Pratt who finishes 3rd on the podium. Nicholas Green gets ahead of Ian Knox and Thomas Weston. All of whom were very close over the line there. Hayden Britton and Alistair Clark next, 7th and 8th, ahead of Stephen Laird and Eric Orchin rounding out the top 10. Bruce Bartlett couldn't quite get past him with Jeroen Wolf. Parker Enquist, the last drivers to finish. And Garrett Kinney rounding out the 14 drivers who started. He will start from the pole. We won't show you the grid in the next race because it is effectively what you've just seen, tipped on its head. But we always enjoy the second race because full reverse grid's always exciting, and especially around a circuit that is difficult to overtake on like this one. It's going to be very interesting to see how far Warner and Patero and so on get.
Absolutely. I think that's where it's going to make it even more interesting to see how these guys are going to get on here and what's going to happen. But I think, this could be an interesting one with Warner and Patero both coming through the field.
It certainly is. As I mentioned, Warner will just get a little bit closer in the championship standings. as a result of that race. But with Patero in second, he's really going to gain very little. Andy Pratt was going to lose points. He was second going into that race. He's going to lose points, obviously, from that race today. First race. Not here today, unfortunately, George Metakos. So he is going to lose points as well for not being here. There's still 3 rounds to go. Next week, we're at Road America for the next round of the championship. Hungaroring the week after that will be in the rain, and then Thruxton to round out the season on the 10th of August, or at least round out the points-paying races this season. Anyway, that's what we are. That's what we're going to see for the remainder of the season. Looks like Patero's to lose as we follow Garrett Kinney here, going for a big slider spin through turn 16.
Yeah, brief in the warm-up there. Well done, Garrett. See how this all works out. I don't really do a lot during warm-up. Do you ever go out during warm-up?
No, I don't bother. Yeah, you've just done, a 20-minute race. What, do you need to practice any more?
No, I just sit there and chill out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. It depends really. If you're, if you really had a very draining first race and you're a bit stressed out, whatever, you would sit there. But if you're bored just waiting for the next race, you might as well go out, I suppose, and do some laps. There's nothing else to do.
Get a drink, go to the toilet. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's about it.
I've just gone to the toilet before the first race. Don't need to go again.
Well,
even with my bladder.
Even with yours, you got an older bladder than I've got, and I'm older than you by a good 20 odd years. There.
It's just is how it is, I suppose. Can't do much about it. So there we go. But yeah, it's only a 20-minute race as well. It's only short races, as we know. And right in the middle of the day means that we got people from all over the world. By the way, the Australians who are getting towards evening. I think it's about 22:10 Australian. New South Wales time, anyway. I know they all have different time zones. But that's a reasonable time to be racing. I think for Eric Orchin, who's added a flag now to his name. It looks like the Thailand flag. So not sure what time it is over there. Probably something similar at this time in the day. But that's a reasonable time to be racing in the evening. A few British drivers. Tom Patero, who's finished, racing at about 20 to 3 in the afternoon. So, yes. And indeed for... when we get them, a couple of Americans as well, Garrett Kinney and Parker Enquist, especially if you're on the east coast of America. It's not too early to be waking up on a Sunday. It's just about 20 to 8 in the morning now. So what a bit of early morning racing in America you can join as well. People from all over the world, and that's the great thing at starting at midday UK time, is that almost all of the world is awake. Or a lot of the world is awake anyway, so we get people from all over.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great time slot, to be fair, regardless of where you are. I think Garrett Kinney knows he's on camera right about now. And he's flashing his lights as if he's just sitting there going hi. Preferably without making a mistake through turn 16 again, though. That would be ideal.
Yes. He is the only driver out there, so he must know that that he is on camera at the moment. Because, as I say, he's the only one out there. Now through the turn 6 he goes. He's about to be thrown out of this lap early, I think, because the warm-up session will draw to a close. And the 14 drivers who are still all here, hopefully, will take to the circuit for race number 2. A full reverse grid race, 20 minutes, which should be enough time for those front guys to work their way through the field and towards the front again. But we'll see whether it is enough time here today, as the warm-up session comes to a close and the race gets underway. It's Garrett Kinney and Parker Enquist, an All-American front row, with Euro Wolf and Reece Bartlett on row 2. Eric Orton and Stephen Laird round out the AMs, who are all at the front this time. Alistair Clark and Hayden Britton are on row 4, ahead of Thomas Weston and Ian Knox. Nicholas Green and Andy Pratt are on row 6, ahead of the top 2 from the last race, Tommy Patero and Matt Warner, who are starting from the back. So how far can they get, I guess, is the question here. How easy is it going to be for them to make those overtakes?
I want to say easy, but you never know here. There was a 2-second disparity between front and back, so technically they should fly through.
think there was a 2-second disparity between pole in Pro and pole in Am. And even further down, it's even more than 2 seconds, actually. But yeah, anyway, it's a big gap anyway, and that is going to surely mean those guys at the back can race their way forward. We'll see if they can do it in the second race here from the Bend Motorsport Park as we get underway, and it is not a great launch from Garrett Kinney down in towards turn number 1. He's already got your own pulling towards the inside here, trying to make it 3 wide down in towards turn number 1. Are they all going to fit through here nicely? They did on race 1.
No.
What about race 2? Wolf down the inside. They're off the circuit down there. All of them, in fact. Oh, and there's trouble. Trouble through turn 2. It was always going to happen. We saw a clean start in race 1, but less so in race 2. And Garrett Kinney's the only one pretty much to come out the other side unscathed.
Yeah, absolutely. There was a big drama on that one. That included Patero, Enquiries, Weston, Hayden Britton, Matt Warner. All of them got caught up in it.
Yeah, it's a big accident, and 4 drivers have had to tow back to pit lane, including the top 2 from that first race, Patero and Warner. Enquist and Wolf both on pit lane as well. That's the front row and the back row, or 2 of the front 3, I should say, and the back row of the field all into pit lane. You'd imagine as well. Some of the others have surely got damaged. Stephen Laird definitely delayed. So was Eric Caution, Thomas Weston, Nicholas Green. They're all quite a long way back. This is a replay of it, by the way. Sorry, I was looking at the timing screen, so I wasn't looking at all at what just happened. We'll do it again. Try to see where it actually started from.
Here.
Wolf's down the inside there for the front 2. That seems all okay.
Then just runs across the track.
Well, I don't know.
But they're all broken and they're all in pit lane.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for most of the field. In fact, you know, we've got most of the cars with at least some level of damage now. And so yeah, that is a shame for those guys, and hopefully they'll be able to get back out. But I mean, the damage is done really as far as their race is concerned. Garrett Kinney, Hayden Britton actually is applying the pressure at the moment to Kinney for 3rd position. Britton will go down the inside to surely get onto the podium here. Does he manage it? Yes, he does. So we've got pros in the top 3 all over again, but not the pros we were expecting to be on the podium here today. Some more come in, Green and Weston. Only 4 pros have survived that opening lap crash.
Yeah, and Greg said it right in YouTube chat. Jesus, man, too many trying to rush through the chaos there instead of slowing for the incident. And that sums it up.
That was Kinney going wide, being overtaken by Pratt for 4th position. There in that one through turn 6. So Kinney still leads in the AMs, but how long is that going to last? Reece Bartlett is just in behind in 6th position. Only 2 seconds further back, so Kinney's going to be under a lot of pressure, that's for sure. Ian Knox is going to be applying some pressure as well for the race lead as he closes on Alistair Clark out front. And they're already coming towards the end of lap 2, so there's a very, very long way to go for Clark to hold on with somebody that close to him.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to find out how these guys will get on here as well. I'm just going to make some changes at the same time, so bear with us. But Knox and Clark out front. Knox tucked in right behind him at the moment.
They are into the final couple of corners. They are going to lead the field away. I would imagine it is going to be between these two for the race win, to be honest, with some of those guys so delayed. We have got some guys coming out the pit lane now, though. Thomas Weston and Nicholas Green only had to take their fast repairs, so they didn't have to tow, and that really helped them. Coming out the pit lane as well, Matt Warner's already made his way out. You're both just out now. So is Tommy Patero. Back onto, Patero's off the circuit down at turn 1, so that's the end of him. He's towed again, and so that might well be the end of him. The championship leader with big trouble here today. Let's see his incident again.
I think he's already broke. I don't think his steering's fixed, and that's the problem. I think he's come out early and his steering that he thought was fixed, but yeah. I don't think it is. But then again, that's one of the problems with the whole optional thing, isn't it? You know, it tells you that you need something on an optional, and you think, oh, it's okay, it's only optional. but it's actually required because 9 out of 10 times it's the blinking steering that's broken. So, you know, it's a tough one.
Why would he risk that? Or why would he be chancing with that if he's got a faster pair? I don't understand.
I don't know.
Doesn't seem to make much sense to me, that one, I've got to say. Anyway, he's going to be in the pit lane for a lot longer. I mean, yeah, the reason, you know, I don't have it written in the rules anywhere they've got a fast pair, but I'm pretty sure they do, because Thomas West and Nicholas Green came in for 2 and 3 seconds respectively. Surely that was just to take on the faster pair, then head back out again onto the circuit with a new car. There's no way they're coming. Otherwise, you don't need to stop in one of these races. As we go on board with Ian Knox here into the final corner, just sends Clark a little bit offline, but not able to get through. Will there be a chance maybe down in towards turn number 1 here for him? Again, just not quite long enough this front straight. There's not really the chance to get through by the looks of things on the way down into turn 1. But it is if you lunge on the brakes. Down the inside for Knox, that's a good attempt, but Clark will hold on for now. Outside at turn 3 though for Clark, and that's surely going to give Ian Knox the advantage. He does get the place. A good pass from Knox. I didn't think he was going to do that. Came from a very long way back.
Yeah, he did there. He absolutely sent it through, did Ian Knox, and he did a great job. But all of this fighting, Andy Pratt's now in behind him. Hayden Britton, Alistair Clark, they're all there. It's going to be a front 4 fight here as these guys continue to scrap again. And at the moment, well, 13 and a half minutes to go. It's going to be very interesting to see how these 4 get on.
Who's going to come out the other side with the win here? I would say probably Ian Knox's favourite, but how much is that going to last on with here? Because after all, he is going to get his first chance at clean air now after getting past Alistair Clark. Hayden Britton and Andy Pratt queuing up behind. Pratt now pulls alongside Britton actually down into 13. Into the outside line, that's a long way round there, and he's in the dirt a little bit, but he's got the inside for the next couple of corners. That is a very nice pass from Andy Pratt, although a good switch back from Britton. He waited for Pratt to go deep into the corner. Oh, and there Pratt's hit Britton, and around he goes. Pratt gets into the back of Hayden Britton, who made a good switchback pass there, but unfortunately has been sent around into a spin.
Yeah, Bartlett and Garrett Kinney are also having a little bit of a ding-dong in the AMs here at the same time. They've just swapped places currently at the moment, so a great job. These guys continuing to fight, but it is that front end who are continuing on. Ian Knox, Alistair Clark, they've motored away a little bit now from anybody else on this racetrack, and they are doing a good job once again. But it's going to be an interesting, because we've got this leader and battle making fights here. We've got Ian Knox, Clark still scrapping away. Britton's got Bartlett and Kinney tucked in behind him.
Absolutely. I think Knox is going to be favourite here, but he's going to have to go on the defensive into turn 6. He's got to make sure he doesn't go too deep into the corner, otherwise he can get switched back on very easily, as we saw in race 1. So Warner got the lead away from Patero and went on to win the race. Pat Warner, of course, in this one down in 11th after getting involved in that first lap smash with everybody else in this race through the triple right-hander now. And Clark is going to just apply that pressure here, and you get the feeling that, yeah, he's not quite done yet. I thought Knox would run away, as I said at the time. I thought Knox would run away, but he's still under pressure here from Clark, and as long as that's happening, the more likely he is to make a mistake, and the more likely Clark is to make a pass again in the next 11 minutes.
Yeah, Clark's tucked in now. He seems like Clark's got a bit of a... he did have a little bit of a second win there. I thought he was going to get a little bit closer, but currently he hasn't. He's dropped back a little bit now. That's going to put him out to 6 tenths at the moment. Is there going to be action further down? On Green and Western were close. Kinney, though, looks like he's just made a mistake, and unfortunately he's just lost 2 places to Stephen Laird and Eric Orchin.
Let's see how it happened. There's that curb again. Why is there a sausage curb on the inside of that corner?
No idea.
There's no reason for it as far as I can see. But anyway, it's causing a lot of trouble today. The circuit's the same for everyone, so you just got to avoid that sausage curb. But, it's right on the apex there. And, the good thing about this circuit, actually, is that it's a circuit built in and opened in 2018 that actually doesn't have miles and miles of runoff on either side of the circuit. It, does have a very long way to the barrier around, I'm less bothered about that, more bothered about the fact that mistakes are actually punished with a bit of grass and gravel rather than just tarmac. Only down there really is where you get tarmac, but you're not going to track extend out there. That's just for safety reasons, which is fine. It's a punishing circuit. So why is there any need for sausage curbs when you've got grass there anyway? I don't really know.
I don't know. I can't answer that question, Mr. O'Leary, to be blatantly honest with you. I don't know why they put them there, because somebody somewhere thought, I know, I'll just put one here. Maybe it's there to make people go round the corner and not cut it. I don't know.
Yeah, but you're not going to with grass anyway. You can't cut the corner.
Dude, okay, I don't know. It's not my fault. I didn't do it.
I'm not accusing you of anything. I don't think you built this circuit as far as...
I definitely did not, because it would not be like this.
No. It is a strange circuit in so many ways, but, it'd be dull if all the circuits are the same, I guess.
Yeah, but then it could be like COTA, where you just take other circuits and put them all together. You know what I mean? Just can't think of one to design on your own. Just saying.
That's true. I quite like COTA, though. I'm in the big minority.
COTA.
No.
When it was mentioned in the broadcast yesterday that we're going to COTA next time, I was just like, ugh, COTA.
Eric Orchin's got a lot of damage, hasn't he, to the front left of that car? Almost looks like he's got pretty bad suspension damage, but he's soldiering on with it anyway. For reasons I'm not quite sure about. That front left tyre, no, it's not that bad actually, the suspension damage. It looks like it's worse when you're off board, but that's not so bad. Yeah, look at that. Suspension looks right out of whack to me there. Looking down the inside for Kinney, he's not going to make it through. But Orchin deciding that carrying on with that damage is better than coming in taking your fast repair.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think that's the thing. If he's not affected him too much, then you might as well carry on. And these guys are at the moment. Andy Pratt is just got close to Ian Knox, and now it's got back out again. But Garrett Kinney and Eric Orchin fighting out for the final podium spot in the AMS with 8 minutes to go here. This is the closest battle on the racetrack.
Yep, it certainly is. And Kinney will hope to get past before the end, really, and he'd hope to, because he does not have damage, unlike the driver he's attacking at the moment, Eric Orchin, just up in front. And don't forget, Kinney started right at the front end of the field in this race. He was on the front row, on the pole, after finishing laps down in race number 1. He is back again in race 2, but has lost quite a few places since the start because of various goings-on in the beginning of this race. Now in towards the final sector, and he's going to look for his way past, but again, it is just difficult to overtake round here in a lot of places. Not too many opportunities. Now they're following each other just a little bit off the road there.
Yeah, they are, but the gap's dropped out to about 8/10 at the moment with 7 minutes to go. This is fluctuating. I don't know what's going on, but Andy Pratt 1 minute gets really close, and then he's out now 2.5 seconds. Alistair Clark also pulls him in and then drifts back out again. So I think it's really dependent on where they are on the circuit and who's quicker and who's not, to be honest with you. Yeah,
very much so. I can't see Pratt giving up this place again after gaining it from Clark, though. So these two might well stay where they are. Is Pratt going to have enough time to catch up and past Knox, though? I guess is the next question. The front three, by the way, all Australians, as far as our data goes anyway. I'm very wary that if just pulls an iRacing flag, that even New Zealanders have the Australian flag. And I know they often get called Australian, so I'm just slightly wary to go all in on that. But anyway, seems like the local-ish knowledge is paying off at the moment for the front three in this reverse grid race.
Yeah, they're doing an exceptional job, aren't they? Let's be real about it. Kinney's got that gap, but no, he hasn't. He's gone back out again. So there we go, unfortunately for Garrett Kinney. So they're in that phase again with 5.5 minutes to go, where it's kind of all spread out and just getting settled down again.
To the final couple of corners, and yeah, certainly has settled down here as we have 5.5 minutes to go. Should be 4 laps to go as well. 1/3 distance of this race still remains, and we're just over actually the halfway point in this season now, actually, that we've gone through race 1 and into race 2 now from round 4, and so yeah, we can yeah, look forward to the end of the season now and the championship battle that may well be on the cards here. Andy Pratt, as I mentioned in the previous race, lost some points in race 1 to Tommy Patero, but this is a big day as far as the championship is concerned, with Patero having a pretty rare finish down in 13th place. Doesn't even look like he's going to be able to get back out onto the circuit to sort of finish the race on the circuit. It looks like he's going to finish in the pit lane.
Yeah, doesn't look too good for Tommy Patero and Parker Enquist at the moment. Unfortunately for them, caught up in that lap 1 incident and, well, never really recovered, have they? None of them come out. Parker did 0.05 of a lap. Tommy did manage 2.04 of a lap before he decided he was broken.
I think he might have just looked down the inside from Kinney. That's how you do it. Down into turn 6. It's a big braking zone down there, and that's how you do it. But there's the undercut. It's a great corner for racing, that one, isn't it? Turn 6. It's just a shame the rest of it's a bit rubbish. As Orchin goes around the outside of the triple right-hander, gets back through again. There's big chances down the inside there because it's so open on the way in, but also for a cutback on the exit as well. It's a great corner, turn 6.
Yeah, absolutely, and it is there as well. Oh, where have they gone?
Kinney's gone.
Kinney's having internet issues. Just kicked me straight back out to... Oh my God, look at that. He's in, out, shaking all about. How do we even know where he is?
Seen that before.
Oh, he's back
now.
now.
He's there. Whoa. I've never seen it. Maybe it's just a thing with graphics, but I've never seen someone dip in and out like so frequently like that before.
No, it's very bizarre. Absolutely, very, very bizarre.
What that was all about, but he's still there anyway. It's a good job for Orchin that he can see who is battling again now, because battling with someone you can't see is famously difficult. So Orchin will be pleased about that to a degree as he now comes over the start-finish line. Kinney behind is going to struggle to get through from there. So 3 minutes to go, 3 laps to go as well for these guys. Don't forget they're quite a long way off the leaders. So 3 laps still for these guys. And it's about whether Kinney can get past Orchin again. Turn 6 surely is going to be another place where he might have a go.
Yeah, absolutely. He's close enough. 4 attempts at the moment for Garrett Kinney. He's now just going to have to try and get there. We're going to have to try and keep an eye on Ian Knox at the moment. He's right near the end. I believe he's near the end of the lap. There he goes up the inside. Eric Orchin. Oh, they both go off. So that wasn't a good corner from any of them.
I think Orchin there might have... I don't know why he slowed down so much on the exit, but Kinney far more alert to what was actually happening there, which was the fact both of them had gone off down at turn 6. I guess it was easier for him to see because he was in behind, so he could slip through. But yeah, that was very, very odd. Kinney gets through on Orchin, and he's going to run away now. But very rare that you see 2 drivers in a battle, not colliding, but both outbraking themselves, just going off like that.
Yeah, I think that's kind of tunnel vision, is it what we call it, isn't it, where you follow a driver? I've done it before, mate, I've got to be honest. I've gone and followed somebody off the racetrack because I was paying attention to where they were going and I didn't realise. So, yeah, it happens, but at the moment that's sort of dropped the battle back. Ian Knox out in first. I think he might still get one more lap here because I don't think he's going to drop back about 4 seconds.
I think there is another lap to go yet. So, Ian Knox is going to have to drive 2 more laps of this circuit before completing this race. As he now makes his way through turn 6. It's been a good drive from Knox. He's got into the lead relatively early on, maybe through the mid part of that race is probably more fair. And he has come under pressure from Andy Pratt. It's clear that Pratt is quicker and closing in on him at the moment. 1.4 seconds, 1.5 is the current margin. But I don't think he's going to be able to get there quite in time here, Pratt. If this was a half an hour race, he'd be favourite, I would say, Andy Pratt. But it's not. It's only 20 minutes. Knox only has 1 more to go after this one to hold on. Yeah,
he is at the moment. He's got 1.4 seconds up the road. So he's not going to be, too troubled. He can just keep it to himself here and just make sure he holds it onto the racetrack through the left hand as they go. 14 and 15, Kinker 16, I believe. Coming up, there it is, into 17 and 18, and then on to the final lap. And this is going to be how it is here, I think. Nobody's going to really challenge 1.3, 1.2. He's definitely taking it easier, but he doesn't want to take it that easy.
Can't afford to back off too much here as they seconds tick by. The white flag will be ready now, and there'll be one more lap to go here from the Bend Motorsports Park. 1.2 seconds. Maximum pressure here for Ian Knox at the end of this race, but he's just got to hit his marks for one more lap, and he will be the race winner in race number 2 as they now come towards turn 1. There's one overtaking opportunity in the rearview mirror, and turn 6 just around the corner as well. And that's another advantage he's got. The 2 best overtaking chances come early in the lap, so if this is a late catch in the lap, then Pratt isn't going to have very many overtaking chances anyway.
No, definitely not. It's got to try and get... Well, there isn't really anywhere now, is there, for them to be able to do that, I don't think. I think it's going to be as it is, because I don't think Pratt's going to be able to get through. Knox has just got to position his car right, and that's the end of that. That's what finishes that one off. So, yeah, Ian Knox looking like he's wrapped this one up.
It certainly does. There might be a dive at 17 if he was close. If he was really close, he'd maybe have a go at 17. That's probably the sharpest braking zone from here to the end. There's the short straight between 12 and 13. The uphill right-hander that looks very similar to the final corner. And now the double left-hander, 14-15. Knox is just consolidating this position now, and it looks like he is going to take victory here at the Bend Motorsports Park. Now that sharp braking zone in the penultimate turn. Through he goes, latest apex, and now towards the final corner. It is going to be Ian Knox to win the second race here from the Bend Motorsports Park, as those on home soil dominate the second race. Knox beats Pratt by 9/10 of a second at the line, and you can see how pleased he is there with that job. Holding on just about. Clark finishes on the podium, and further behind, Reece Bartlett is in the lead of the AM class by just 1 second here. After Kinney was leading earlier on and fell by the wayside, it was left to Reece Bartlett to bring it home. And it looks like in that AM class he's going to come through the final corner, and under similar pressure to what Knox was at the front of the field. He survives the pressure of Stephen Laird this time, and he is going to take the AM victory this time as well.
Yeah, great job from Bartlett. Over the line he goes, gets the victory in AMs. Laird in behind, Kinney there, and Orchin at the end. But great run from the 3 individuals up front from Australia, I presume. There as well. Good job from them, but a few people coming over the line. Thomas Weston's going to kick himself, Nick Green, Matty Warner, Jerome Wolfe. You know, they've all got caught up, didn't they? So that's the end of that.
Weston is just about going to hold on from Nick Green. As you say, they both came in for their fast repair at the end of lap 1, but they didn't need to tow. That's why they're 9th and 10th ahead of the 4 that did on lap 1. One of them being Matt Warner. He was the winner of race 1. But he will gain on Patero again in race 2. However, it is unfortunately a outside of the top 10 finish here for Matt Warner. But points gained nevertheless on Tom Patero in both races today. So that is a bit of a silver lining for him. Andy Pratt probably coming out the best of those in the championship, to be honest, out of this one so far. Well, it is Ian Knox who wins the second race of the day ahead of Andy Pratt by about a second, with Alistair Clark rounding off the top 3. Hayden Britton and Reece Bartlett rounding out the top 5, with Stephen Laird next in line. Garrett Kinney just tailed off Eric Orchin, with Thomas Weston, Nick Green rounding out the top 10. And then those that towed, Matt Warner, the last on the lead lap, Jerome Wolfe 1 lap down. Tommy Patero, who I think left the pit lane there just so he could get ahead of Parker Enquist and be classified 13th rather than 14th, because neither of them exited the pit lane properly at the end of that race. So, Ian Knox, race 2 winner. And yeah, one of the first times this season, really, that we've seen Tommy Patero really in trouble, losing points to Matt Warner on both occasions. Andy Pratt will gain on them both from race 2 as well. That's an interesting race to set up the final 3 rounds of this series.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing, isn't it? You know, let's have a look at the final 3. You know, we've got Road America, Hungaroring and Thruxton. Now, there is a fun race on the 17th of August with no championship points, but we'll see how that one goes. Now, out of all of them, I'm a little bit worried that Road America might be all right. I'm a little bit worried about Hungaroring, because we both know that some of the racing at Hungaroring can be meh at best. So, but I am excited for the 10th of August in Thruxton. I think that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it certainly should be. I know you'll always be excited for a race at Thruxton. Yeah, I did one on Friday, to be fair, and it was pretty good. So yeah, no, it should be good from there in these Ferrari Challenge cars. So make sure you join us for that as well. We'll be back in 1 week's time from Road America, though, in the next round of the championship, round 5. And we'll see where this championship is going to head next, because it's certainly taken on a small twist here this afternoon. Make sure you join us again 7 days' time, same place. You found this on the JP YouTube channel, here for the next round of the Jack Ashton Racing Coaching and / the Novice Racer League Ferrari Challenge Championship here this season. I've been Ewan O'Leary alongside James Parfitt from the Ben Motorsports Park. We'll see you in 1 week's time at Road America. Goodbye for now.